Okay, guys. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, by the way. We're going to be talking about solving word problems, polynomial word problems, by factoring. Now, I'm going to give you the warning right now immediately. Some of these word problems are going to render us with very, very difficult things to factor. Sometimes almost impossible to factor. You would need to use a skill called completing the square or a formula called the quadratic formula. Now, we don't have those skills, so if and when we get to that, all I'm going to be looking for is the setup. Okay, if we can go ahead and factor it, great. God bless us. Awesome. If it's very difficult and we can't factor it, I'm going to be looking for the setup at least. Okay. On the test, I will do my best to ensure that they are all factorable. All right. So just a little review. Remember the zero product property. The zero product property states that A times B, if A times B equals 0, then A equals 0 and or B equals 0 as well. So you have to set both A and B equal to 0 and solve for the variable in question. Now, let's try to put this together, guys. The length of a rectangle is 6 centimeters less than twice its width. Find the dimensions the rectangle is its area. Oh, if its area, sorry. If, maybe I should learn how to write. If its area is 108 centimeters squared. Remember, guys, we have a lot of word problem skills already, and one of them has been activated here, a table. Okay? You could do a system here, but that's going to be a mission. So what I would do is I have length and I have width. I know that the length is 6 centimeters less than twice its width. So I know nothing about the width, and its length is 6 centimeters less than, remember, switch, twice its width. So 2x minus 6. Now they want you to find the dimensions if the area is 108 centimeters squared. Well, the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width or base times height. So the area, which is 108, equals 2x minus 6 times x. So let's go ahead and multiply this out, distribute it, and also make it all into standard form. I know that I'm going to subtract the 108 first of all, right? We know that. We're going to subtract the 108. So what I'm going to have is 0 equals 2x squared minus 6x minus 108. Is everyone with me so far? Okay. I do not want to ever factor anything until I first check to see if I can factor out a GCF. Can I factor out a GCF, boys? Yeah, I can factor out a 2 here, my brothers. So that's going to render me with 0 equals x squared minus 3x minus 54. Correct? Now we're golden, guys. Believe it or not, you have just, you're real close to solving it, but basically, you solved a very complicated word problem. Be honest. If I had given this to you in the beginning of the year, would you have even known where to even start? No. Now at least you know you start with the table, right? You know the formula. Now we have our trinomial. So now we factor. Go ahead, say it. X minus 9, x plus 6. Very good, son. Because what times what equals negative 54, but when added together is negative 3. That'd be a negative 9 and a positive 6. Sir?
How come factor out?
Okay, you're absolutely right. There should be a 2 here. This is not an artificial factor. You're 100% right. Thank you, son. And that was my bad. My screw up. No excuses. Thank you, bro. It was actually a test. I was testing to see if you guys were paying attention. You win. Good job. No, I'm kidding. I screwed up. Thank you, though, for paying attention, son. Now, at this point, guys, remember, I've got 3 things being multiplied here. I've got an A, a B, and a C. So I have to set all of those products equal to 0. So I got to set 2 equal to 0, which is absolute garbage. X minus 9 equals 0, and x plus 6 equals 0. So my possibilities are 9 or negative 6. But negative 6 isn't going to work too much because I can't have a negative side. So it's going to be 9. So what are the dimensions? 9, and 18 minus 6 is 12. So this is a 12 centimeter by 9 centimeter rectangle. Go ahead and write that down. Write the work down. You don't have to write the question down. I hope you noticed that this was number 9, the first one on your packet. Or 10. My bad. Yes, sir. You have a question, sir. Okay. Okay. Does everyone understand the work I just did and how I set it up and why? Because I'm pretty darn sure that once you get to factor, you guys are going to do fine. Once you get to solving it, you guys are going to do fine. And setting it up, you're going to do fine as well. But I would say that would be the number one place for error, I think, at this point in the game. Does that make sense so far? Yes, sir. They should have the answers. Oh wait. Okay, yeah, the first page does not. I apologize. Okay, so what? Well, so I guess I'll just tell you the answers when we come in then tomorrow. Okay. Let's look at number 12, please. It's on your book. I mean, on your book in the worksheet I just gave you. Find the dimensions of a rectangle whose perimeter is 42 and whose area is 104. Okay. Find the dimensions of a rectangle whose perimeter is 42 and whose area is 104. Yes. Yeah, this we're going to have to do. This we're going to have to. Well, yeah, we're going to have to do 2 separate equations. We're going to have to do a system here. Okay? First of all, just to remind you guys, the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times width plus 2 times length, right? And of course, area is length times width. We have a rectangle. Now it says here, find the dimensions of a rectangle whose perimeter is 42 and whose area is 104. Wow, this is a good one. Yeah, we would have to use substitution here. Absolutely. So this is what we would do. The perimeter is 42, so I go 42 equals 2 times base plus 2 times height, where I'm going to call x is the base or the width, the length rather, and y is the height, okay? Base times height. And then the area, 104, equals base times height, which is just x, y. Does this make sense, guys? So far, what I just did. Yes, my brothers? Okay. Yeah, what I'm going to do, I'm going to solve for y for this guy right here. Okay? So first what I'm going to do is divide everything by 2. So I'd have 21 equals x plus y. Then I subtract x. 21 minus x equals y. Now I'm going to substitute that bad boy right into here. So I have 104 equals x times y, but y is 21 minus x. So now I have 104 equals 21x minus x squared. Let's go ahead and put this in standard form. Let's get that x squared positive. So I'm going to add the x squared and subtract the 21x. So I'm going to get x squared minus 21x plus 104 equals 0. Does that make sense so far, guys? I see some faces that are not. Does that make sense? Yes? Okay. Now, what times what is 104, but when added together is 0? I mean, negative 21. Who? Negative 14 and 7? No. Because 7 times 4 is going to be 28. Come on, guys. Let's try it. Let's try. Come on, man. You got this. It's a good one. Okay, let's see. Do that. All right, class, what is it? Yeah, it's going to be negative 13. That was a great job. Good. Negative 13. Good job, class. And 8 equals 0 because negative 13 times 8. Ah, they're both negative. Yep, there's negative 21. My bad. Thank you. Because a negative is a negative is a positive. Very good. And a negative plus a negative is a negative. So, yes. So then here, x is going to equal 13 or 8. I can have that. I can have two different dimensions because there's different ways to create an area, okay? So find dimensions of the area, so I want to find all of the dimensions, right? All of the dimensions. So first of all, when x is 13, okay, which x we talked about our base. So our base, it could be a 13 by something, or it could be an 8 by something, okay? Let's go ahead and plug it in. If that's going to equal 104 equals, oh boy, I should learn how to use an eraser. 104 equals 13y. Divide by 13, and you're going to get 8, correct? Hello? 13 by 8, or an 8 by 13. Does that make sense? Because you can have the base of 13 by 8 or 8 by 13. Either way. Yes, sir, those are dimensions. I just solved for the width. Yes, sir. Which was x, right, my brother? But doesn't area, which is 104, equal base times height? So I plugged in the base of 13, and then I found my height of y. Thank you. Thank you. Good question. Does that make sense? All right. Let's continue. The difference of two positive numbers is 5, and the sum of their squares is 233. What are the numbers? Again, we're going to have a system here. The difference of two positive numbers, so x minus y, is 5. And the sum of their squares is 233. So x squared plus y squared equals 233. And this is going to be one of those where, no, you can use elimination. You can, or substitution. Yeah, this is just going to be a real nasty sucker. Let's do it. All right, who do you want to solve for the top one up here? X or Y? Y? I would solve for X, because X is going to equal Y plus 5. Now, plug that into here. So I've got Y plus 5 squared plus Y squared equals 233. Remember that Y plus 5 squared, that's a perfect square. So remember, it's the first term squared, plus 10, good job, Y plus 25 plus Y squared equals 233. Let's go ahead and get it in standard form. Y squared plus Y squared, good. 2Y squared plus 10Y. Wouldn't that be 208? Minus 208, guys? 25 minus 233 would be negative 208. So I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by a 2 to make my life easy, guys. Y squared plus 5y minus 104 equals 0. What times what is negative 104? Yeah, actually, yeah, 8 and 13 again. Very good. But this time, it's going to be negative 8 and positive 13. Very good. So then y will equal 8 or negative 13. Negative 13 can't work, so it has to be 8. So if y is 8, then does that mean that x is 13? So we've got 13 and 8 as the answers. Does that make sense, guys? Do you see how it's not that difficult? It's just combining a lot of things. Talk to me, bro. You look a little confused. Talk to me. Thank you. Remember, it's not a negative 13, Pablo. Thank you. He said you crossed out this 13, Moro. What do you do now? You plug it into here. X equals y, which is 8 plus 5. So x equals 13, but it's a positive 13, son. Not a negative. Thank you. Yeah, I know. And it says the difference of two positive numbers. Good job. Well done. Good job. Does that make sense, boys? Okay. Let me know when I can continue. I see some people writing, so no big deal. Okay. Now, let's use a different type of problem now. I got to give you some information though. It's all on your paper. But it says here we're going to number 18, and it says here on the sheet of paper for exercise 17 to 23, use h equals rt minus 4.9 t squared, where h is in meters, and the formula h equals rt minus 16 t squared, where h is in feet. Okay? And it says here, a rocket is fired upward with an initial speed of 1,960 meters per second. After how many minutes does it hit the ground? So first of all, we're talking about meters. So we're going to use the formula h equals rt minus 4.9 t squared. Now, these are the ones where you're going to have to use a calculator or the quadratic formula or completing the square. I'm not here to kill you. And I'm not going to make you guys do something that I have not trained you for. Okay? That's just wrong. So, in situations like this, where you have decimals, I'm letting you know right now, right off the bat, set those up, and you'll be fine. Because once you have the skills of knowing how to use the quadratic formula, I don't care how ugly the numbers are, as long as you have your setup correct, it's Mickey Mouse. At that point, you can take out a calculator, which we will be able to use for that particular section, and then just knock it out, okay? So here, I just want to make sure you got the setup. A rocket is fired up with an initial speed of 1,960 meters per second. After how many minutes does it hit the ground? Let me explain what this is, because this is a velocity formula. Height, h is height, okay, the desired height. R is rate, okay, the speed, or velocity rather, okay, and T is time. 4.9 is a coefficient in front of the T squared. It's there because it's a standard formula. This is like a function, and they created this function. This is the way the function is going to work every time. Okay? So a rocket is fired upward. Okay, you know how to read. So when does it hit the ground? First of all, what's the height of the rocket if it hits the ground? 0. Thank you. When will it be 0? R, which is the initial speed, 1,960 t, right, minus 4.9 t squared. That's it. You're done. Actually, okay, yeah, let's do it the right way. 0 will equal t, and 1,960 minus 4.9t. We know that one of them, actually, in this case, you know what? Actually, yeah, you don't have to factor this. You can do this. T will be equal to 0, and then 1,960 minus 4.9t will equal 0. So negative 4.9t equals 1960 negative divided by negative 4.9. So we know we're going to have a positive. I'm going to go ahead and cheat because it's getting late. I don't want time to run out. 1960 divided by negative 4.9. So t is after 400 seconds. And I knew it was seconds because it's meters per second. Huh? Okay, maybe I should. How many minutes does it hit the ground? Okay, so you have 400 seconds, 400 divided by 60, right? Because I'm going from small to large. So I divide. So it'd be 6.6 repeating minutes, or 6 2/3 of a minute. Yes, sir. I didn't move it to the other side. I set t equal to 0, and then I set 1,960 minus 4.9 t equal to 0. I did. I subtracted it. It is a negative. And then a negative divided by a negative is a positive. No, thank you for clarifying, son. That means you care. Thank you. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, the announcer is going to come on any second. And when they do, well, actually, I'm going to pause real quick for the announcements, and then we'll continue, if that's okay. Is that good? All right. Thank you. Okay, guys. Now, how about this one? A rectangular picture is 4 centimeters longer than it is wide. It is surrounded by a mat that is 2 centimeters wide. The combined area of the picture and the mat is 140 centimeters squared. Find the dimensions of the picture. Remember, guys, remember always, tables help a lot, okay? We have a length and we have a width, and it says that the picture is 4 centimeters longer than it is wide. So what do we know nothing about? Width. So width is, and length is, what is it? 4x or x plus 4? X plus 4, guys. Remember, it says it is 4 centimeters longer than. If it was multiplication, it'd say 4 times as long as. So now it's surrounded. So why don't we try to draw a little picture here? We've got x and we've got x plus 4, right? Now, it's surrounded, and you know what? To make this less confusing, why don't I put this inside so that it's not confusing? Okay, now, I have this border. This border is 2 inches all the way around, right? Because that's what it tells me, 2 inches wide. And the area is 140. So, think about it. From top to bottom, what is the exact dimension here? It's not 2x. It's 2 plus x plus 2. So it's not 4x either, guys. It's 4 plus x. So x plus 4 times, what is it from here to here? 2 plus x plus 4 plus 2, so x plus 8. Very good. Very good. And that equals 140 centimeters squared. Now, FOIL. You got x squared plus 8x plus 4x, so that's 12x, plus 32 equals 140. Subtract the 140. So I got x squared plus 12x minus 108. Thank you, gentlemen. equals 0. So what times what equals 108 negative, but when added together is 12.
Oh, 18 and 6.
18 and 6. Wow, well done. Very good, son. Positive 18 and negative 6. Excellent, kid. Now, you use the zero product property. You got to set both x plus 18 and x minus 6 equal to 0. So x will equal negative 18 or positive 6. 18's no good, garbage. So x has to equal 6. So the width is 6 centimeters and the length is 10 centimeters. And that's how you apply all the stuff we've learned so far. Be honest, it's not that bad, is it, guys? Okay.
Pretty bad.
Okay, we got some people saying pretty bad. Well, I think you're going to be fine. I think you're going to be fine, and I know you're going to succeed.